I just don't understand why it decided to be cold and rainy on the day that I came. Out of all the times it could have been cold and rainy in Vegas, it decides to be like that today. I digress. All right, y'all. Dating for men, I'll be honest with you, is much easier because we're just less picky, to be honest with you. Men are just less picky. Not saying that we're not picky, because I know I'm picky. I be trying not to be picky, but when it comes to comparison between men and women, women definitely seem to be much more picky. And not only much more picky, but just like, they don't want to ever like deviate from maybe like lowering their standards, not even just a little bit. And that's why they usually tend to have a harder time dating, because they have a hard time for settling down, or have a harder time, you know, going for a little less than what they exactly want. It's kind of like picking a hotel out here. If you just decide that you want your hotel to have specific amenities and you just refuse to not have a hotel unless those amenities are met, then you won't have anywhere to stay. No, I don't have any cash, I'm sorry.
Do you have Cash App?
Do you have cash?
Yeah, you can send me.
I really don't have cash out. That's funny. This is hilarious. This dude has cash out and he asks for money. All on my video. That's crazy. All right, let's see here. All right, so I'm about to go into the win. But yeah, like I was saying, it's easy for guys, I ain't gonna say easier, it's just easier for guys to find what they're looking for, because at first we might start here with, oh, she gotta be bad, she gotta be this, she gotta be that. But we're more realistic half the time. We can be like, okay, well, as long as she got 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 4, I can deal with that, or I can work with that. Women, it's like, oh, I can't find a man because he doesn't have everything. He's not tall, he's not in shape. Oh, hold on, let me show you guys this waterfall. It's beautiful. That's a good old win. Wonder what we're finding here. All right, people, I gotta be real with you. Vegas is so easy to date. It's like one of them places where you just can't go wrong, because there's so many places out here to find someone. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna keep it 100% real. Dating as a man in 2025 is much harder than dating as a woman in 2025. And I'm saying that because, let's keep it real. We all know that when it comes to dating, everything is always on the man. From paying for the date, coming up with the idea, you know, maintaining, I guess, the chase, or keeping things interesting and intriguing, you know, just being able to be a provider, as well as being spontaneous, as well as being mysterious, and, you know, just all the things. It feels like we have a lot more on our shoulders when it comes to dating. It's really all on us. For a woman, it's like all they have to do, you know what, not that it's like, it is. All they have to do is just sit around and wait for everything to come to them. Sit around and wait for a guy to come up with the idea. Wait for a guy to do all these things. So when it comes to, you know, the whole conversation that's starting to get a little trendy right now, where people are asking, is it easier for a man to date or a woman to date? I'm definitely gonna lean towards it being harder for guys. It's always been easier for women. Women complain about things that they could easily change, but they just mentally don't want to, which is, for example, they want guys to have all these specific stats, right? And the hardest part about them is not finding a guy. It's just hard to find a guy that has all the stats. And instead of just being like, okay, well, he has 3 out of 4 things that I like, or he has 2 out of 4 things that I like, I can work with that. No, they'd rather just be like, no, I only want the guys who got 4 out of 4, you know? And I'm sure it's much more than 4 things that they want, but they only want the guys that got 4 out of 4, which drops their dating pool down to such a small percentage that they start to get the perception that things are hard. Anyway, speaking of perception, I don't know if you guys can see in the background, but there's a hotel that when I first came to Vegas, I stayed at. It's called the Treasure Island. That's where I actually met one of my friends. Her name is Ashley Cash. She's been in a lot of my videos lately. We met right here at this hotel because I stayed there for the first time in my life. And I was out here shooting a wedding and doing content. I reached out to her to do some content. And ever since then, we kind of just been inseparable. She had my back when I didn't have anything. Then it was usually during that time as well. I had a bad situation happen to me and she had my back. And I never forgot that moment. So that's why you guys see her popping up even more lately, is because, it's because I kind of fell out of like sync with like contacting her. I just wasn't being the best friend myself. So I really just been kind of reaching back to the people who mean a lot to me, especially after I lost one of my best friends last year. It's just been making me realize the people in my life who's been there and have my back, I want to always keep them around and let them know I had their back as well. But anyway, let's get back to this whole dating situation, because I know that's why you guys really clicked on this video, is because you guys just want to know my opinion on, is it harder for men or women? And realistically, we all know what it is, man. Men have it much harder in the dating world, in the dating market. Hold on, let me cross the street. This car's waiting on me. Men have it much harder in this dating world. I honestly thought that was like not a secret, but apparently it seems to be a mystery thing to a lot of people. Oh, right now we are coming upon one of my favorite looking hotels in Vegas. By the way, if you guys have never been to Vegas, this is also kind of like doubling as like a little tour, a little walkthrough tour of Vegas on the Strip, the Venetian. One of these days I'm gonna actually stay there. I would have stayed here on this trip, but this was like a quick last minute turnaround trip, because I just wanted to make this video for you guys and also just get out of DC for a change, because I feel like I had been in DC a little too much lately, so that's why I've been taking a lot more time to get out. But look how beautiful this place is. The Venetian is like one of those places where you just automatically feel like all of a sudden you're not in America anymore. The Venetian is so fire, so fire. I mean, look at this. If I was a guy out here living in Vegas, I just would have an endless supply of dating options. Sometimes I don't understand why people are finding it hard to date out there, especially when you live in a place like this. Now in DC, I can see why, because DC sucks. Weather's always horrible. You don't got views like this in DC, unless maybe if you're at the wharf, but not like this. Well, I kind of take it back. I'm kind of backtracking a little bit, because there are some places, but nowhere near as many as this view right here. The Venetian is just one of those one-of-a-kind places, man. Definitely gotta take a little boat ride one of these days and get the little vibe of riding around with the guy pushing the stick on the boat. I don't even know what it's called. I mean, all I'm saying, ladies, is that I don't see dating as being that hard, because, I mean, what's the hardest part about a date for y'all? I mean, deciding if you just like someone or not. You didn't have to do anything to probably put together the arrangements or the plans, or to make sure you're on time or anything like that, or financially worry about anything. You just get to sit there and make a decision on if you want to do another date or not. That's the hardest part. It's, oh, do I want to do another date? That's the hardest part. It's crazy to me. So I don't know what to say, bro. Okay, there's a lot going on over here. I got completely distracted. I just want to give you guys another view. This is so dope. This is dope. Do that thumbnail shot. Lit. I could really just stay here at this hotel, like literally like all day. This is such a photogenic hotel. Oh man, I wish I could just live in a city like this. This is like a really dope little city. I might need to see if I can get like a transfer. I probably wouldn't have no problems dating if I transferred to Vegas. Probably have no problems. All right, maybe a little, because the women out here may be on something totally different than what I'm used to them being on. Because in DC, they got their own bread, and they're not trying to live off nobody else, and they're not trying to date guys because they got that bread. Well, no, I think no matter where you go, women are always trying to date guys who got that bread. Sorry, y'all, the mic died while I was shooting this. I hope the audio coming from this camera is good enough to keep going. It's usually pretty good. But one fatal flaw that I have been realizing while I've been talking and doing this video is that, you know, I didn't mention the fact that everybody has their own ideas of what they want out of a relationship. And I think that's gonna honestly drastically sway the opinion on whether it's harder for men or women, because depending on what you want out of a relationship, those goals or those objectives could definitely be a pretty difficult thing to obtain, especially if they're, you know, really high. So with that said, you know, I would just like to keep in mind that when I'm speaking about my point of view, I'm speaking of, you know, from a point of view of someone who I think has two people who are trying to date who have somewhat pretty decent goals, just basically want someone to treat them right, be attractive, stuff like that. Not trying to make it like a whole difficult thing, because there's some people who only decide to date millionaires, and that right there can make life a lot more difficult if that's what you're trying to get out of life. If the only thing you want to date is a millionaire, whether you're a man or a woman, I mean, unless all of your friends and family are in that category, you may not be dating as often as you think you will date. These seahorses are lit though. There's the Bellagio, and there's the fake Eiffel Tower. Now that I've seen the real Eiffel Tower, I'm not gonna lie, this one really ain't hitting like that, because the real Eiffel Tower is like twice that height, and it doesn't have as much metal in the middle. It's still cool though to look at. Don't mind me, I'm just on my second Starbucks, casually shooting bangers in the background. I got here just in time to see the waterworks going at the Bellagio. Check it out. honestly, guys, I am thoroughly convinced that women wouldn't know a good guy or a good relationship even if it was staring them right in the face or beating down a wall or whatever. Like, women are so difficult to please, bro. Half of the time, they don't even know what they want, which also makes it harder for guys to be able to date. I mean, y'all are a lot. But anyways, shout out to the guy who just said what's up to you guys in the background. I'm going to probably start making my way back because I've walked pretty much the whole strip. Once you get down to the Bellagio, I mean, there's pretty much not really much else to see. The Bellagio and the Paris little Eiffel Tower thing, there's not really much to see. So I'm gonna start heading my way back because I got a while. I parked way at the Fashion Show Square Mall. So got a nice little walk back. But I hope you guys definitely enjoy watching the video, man. I really try to make sure I touch on specific topics that I see that's trending. This topic was brought to you by YouTube. My actual algorithm told me that you guys want to hear about if dating is harder for women or harder for men. So I tried to touch on it. Maybe it wasn't perfect. Usually I have notes, but I'm also sightseeing. It's kind of hard to stick to the topic when you got dope views like this all around you, just distracting you. You got the Bellagio fountains just going, and women walking by, and just, you know, sightseeing. I'm thinking about maybe getting something to eat soon. So we'll see where we go from there. But yeah, this is Vegas. It's absolutely harder for guys, in my opinion, to date than it is for women. Because women, all y'all gotta do is put a nice dress on, go to a nice lounge, and you're just gonna get chose. People just gonna come to you. And what's so hard about thumbing through options is always gonna be much easier than creating the options. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys, just in case I don't remember to do it later, just wanted to remind you guys to like, comment, and subscribe on the video, because, you know, I really be trying to go out my way to make some bangers for you guys. I know you guys don't really respond whenever I travel and I'm not in DC, but I really like traveling and I really like leaving DC. DC is where I live, but you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to get out there and see the world too now. Y'all not gonna have me stuck just only making videos in DC. Anyways, hit that subscribe button if you guys want to see more videos. I'm gonna continue talking about dating. I know for a fact you guys want me to stick to the dating topic, so I'm gonna stay on the dating topic, but I'm gonna travel. We gotta do a win-win here. Do a little something for y'all, I'm gonna do a little something for me, you know what I'm saying? And we win at the same time. All right, guys, see you guys in the next video. Make sure you watch the next few seconds of this clip though, because I want to share the Bellagio fountains with you guys on the way out. Appreciate you guys for watching this long. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.